Okay, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. And today, I'd like to share our experience in Japan, titled The Smart Aging Way. And why I'd like to talk this subject this time? Because the aging is not the issue only for the older people. Because aging is a common process since we are born or before born. So aging is an issue for all generations. So that's why I'd like to share how we continue to cope with this process for all the people. Okay, let's start what's happening in the super aging society. This is not the future. This is the reality, what's happened in now, particularly in Japan. Okay, this is the age ratio of Japan. It's the highest in the world. And as of this year, the age ratio of Japan now is 24.1% already. It's the highest in the world. Okay, do you know how much is Hong Kong? I already showed this by diagram. Okay, Hong Kong is in Asia. Hong Kong is next to Japan, but still, I think 12 or 13% in 2010. Okay, then Korea, Taiwan, Singapore, Thailand, and China. But those four countries, the government of those four countries has great concern on rapid aging in the near future because their birth rate is lower than Japan. That means the aging process will be accelerated very in the near future. Yeah. So this is the elderly population in Japan. Even the total population in Japan start to decrease in 2004, but the elderly population is still continue to grow like this. And this is more important chart. This shows the care needed certified ratio by age. Okay? In Japan, we have a long-term care insurance system. If you need a nursing care, you can get insurance from the government. Okay? And you can pay only 10% of cost. But 90% cost is covered by the insurance. But to hear this sounds very beautiful, but in reality, there's a lot of problems, particularly for the budget. Okay, this chart shows, okay, the ratio increase after roughly 75. Okay, age 75 is a turning point. Our physical body will be changed, averagely. Yeah. And this shows how long does it take after becoming the status of the care needed. And take a look. Okay, over 3 years, 58%, almost 60%. Okay, if your father or mother need nursing care, you need to take care of them over 3 years, 60%. Okay, 5 years, over 5 years, 40%. But this shows once your loved the parents or your loved family became needed nursing care, it takes long time. This is the reality. And another important reality is the budget. This shows the budget change of the public long-term care insurance in Japan. And we started this insurance system in 2000 April. Then start to increase, and now it's, I think this year, around 9 trillion yen. The total national budget of Japan in 2011 is 90 trillion yen. So that means long-term care insurance budget is 10% already. And it will become estimated 19 to 25 trillion yen in 2012-5. Okay? In 2025, it's just 12 years after from now. Not so long time. So how do we cope this? Okay, on the other hand, this diagram shows what are you concerned in later life we asked a question to the older people. Okay? One big concern, keeping health. The second is becoming the status of being cared by someone. And third, income for daily living. Okay? Those top the three factors called health, wealth, and the purpose. Those are the top three concerns which older people have. I think this is universal, not only in Japan, but also in Hong Kong, everywhere. Same. Okay, so what's happening in the super aging society in reality? One, the increased healthcare and long-term care budget is a threat of potential collapse of the social security system. So I don't want to threat you, but this is a reality. And second, elderly become very careful to spend their financial asset since they have much anxiety for the future. They don't want to spend much money because they want to keep for the future risk. So this is a general trend, tendency, their consumption behavior. Okay? Then, for what we need in the super aging society. Okay? One, we need to reduce the cost of healthcare and long-term care of elderly in both individual and society level. The second is we need to focus on more preventive aspects by more productive and comprehensive approach. So this is more important than care itself, prevention. Yeah. So from now, I will explain more in detail and in more practical. So what is the strategy of smart aging? Smart aging is a concept I created several years ago. And because I didn't like the traditional view of aging. This is a typical view of traditional aging. Aging is loss. Aging is deterioration. And gray dawn, dark, and so on. This is a typical view of aging. Okay? And then another new concept came from the Western world called anti-aging, anti-aging. Okay? This is long view of aging. They say, okay, aging is disease. Aging is ugly. The younger is better than older. Okay? So we don't agree this. Of course, some younger people is much better than some older people. I agree. But if we say in general, it's not true. So instead of those different views of aging, I proposed the view of smart aging. Okay? Under the smart aging view, aging-related challenges are opportunities for mutual growth and smarter solution. Aging is gain, and aging is human development. So this is a very important philosophy of what is smart aging. And two meanings of smart aging, in other words. One, we can become smarter as we age if you make efforts. If you don't make effort, I don't guarantee you. Okay? We need effort. The second, we need to respond smartly to the challenges due to the aging society. Okay? For example, if you have a dementia family close to you, what will you do? What are you trying to treat you? Okay? It's not easy. Okay? In a traditional nursing home, they took them to the small rooms, and it's a very dark room, and just to feed the food and so on, some. Okay? This is not a smart way. We need more smarter way. So this is the two meanings of the smart aging. Okay, and there are 4 factors to achieve smart aging. And okay, from the under, one is physical exercise. Second is cognitive stimulation. Third is nutrition. And fourth is socialization. Today, I'd like to touch more in detail about 3 aspects of this. First, physical exercise. Okay, top reasons why people need care or support. The number one, cerebrovascular disease. It's brain, okay, like stroke. Okay, my mother had a stroke 2.5 years ago. And even she's okay to speak, but she still has a problem with her right leg. Okay? And second is dementia. And third is, I skipped the failure due to become age. And another third reason, top reason, called joint disease and bone fracture or falling. These are called locomotory disease. Okay? So very shortly speaking, if we keep the brain and the body keep alive, we can keep our health. Okay, cause of cerebral hemorrhage is lifestyle disease. Okay, do you like eat too much? Do you like drinking too much? Smoking? No physical exercise? Stress? Those are the cause of the so-called lifestyle disease, high blood pressure, diabetes, and obesity, and so on. Okay? But if you do the aerobic exercise, and this is the most effective way to prevent lifestyle disease, the most easiest way is walking, okay, or slow swimming, or slow jogging. If you do this, you can prevent partly. However, it's not enough. Okay. This is the volume of our muscle. Our muscle of volume, the volume of our muscle, total body, decreases as we age, after 30. Okay, in 20s, you have 100%, but in 60, only 60%, and in 70s, only 50%, normally. And unfortunately, legs become weaker than arms, and particularly for women. So a lot of women lose their muscle as you age. So, okay, so we need muscular strength training to keep walking ability. Okay, so walking is good, but not enough. We need more training from here to here, this part. So this is called muscular trunch. So how do you do that? Not easy. Okay, so I'd like to show one good example of elderly-friendly aerobic exercise called curves. Okay, and this curves is originally developed in the United States, Waco, Texas. But I introduced this to Japan over 7 years ago. And the interesting thing is average age of customer is 58. And this is a traditional style of fitness club. In fact, this is the one I belong to. But I quit. Can you imagine why? It looks like human broiler factory. Okay? It's walking 40 minutes. And after that, after taking shower, I will take Tsingtao beer. Okay? Just 1 minute to compensate the total calorie consumed. So this kind of mechanism doesn't work to me, and not only me, and particularly for older women. Okay, the elderly can practice the aerobic exercise and muscle training by only 30 minutes. And because it's very efficient system, every 30 seconds they will change the position. First position, they will do the upper arm, the muscle training, then move to the next, and they do the aerobic and stretching, then move to the leg training. So this is very efficient way. But more important attractiveness is called 3 no M. So what is one? One, no men. Because some older women don't like to touch the tears of the men. Second is no makeup. Women don't have to make up. So some women always do makeup before going to the sports gym. Takes time, so to save time. The third is no mirror. So women already know that. Oh, yeah? Men don't understand what's the meaning, but women do understand. Okay? And also the important thing is focusing on environment to continue to come. For example, okay, 30 minutes women's only and nearby home and sense of community. They can create the good friends because all people who come to this store, they are very similar. They have a similar interest. That's why they're easy to get a good friend. And also, we eliminate the object with no relation to the effect. For example, no shower, no bath. Because if you have a water equipment, you need to invest a lot. And you need to pay maintenance cost every month. So we eliminate this. And but nobody complains that. Okay? So why clubs in Japan has been successful? And there's some secret, especially in Japan. Well, this is club stores in Japan. We started from 2005 July, from zero, scratch. And now the total store is 1,227 nationwide. The number of the members are over 515,000 as of November 1st. So I didn't expect such growth. Yeah? Why? Because there's a demand. Because people becoming older, aging. For example, okay, the turnover ratio. Okay, people come and then left. This is called turnover. And in the US, turnover ratio is over 8%. But Japan, under 4%, sometimes under 2%. So what is the difference? Because age cohort is different. The Japan case is age cohort, average age is 10 years older than United States. And okay, younger people easily to change their stores. They will come easily, but they will left easily. But older people, once they like this, they will continue to stay. So higher loyalty. So if you have a very good relationship with older people, the older people continue to stay your home. No, your house. No, your stores. Okay, and another thing, okay, Hong Kong, Japan, particularly Tokyo, land space is expensive, very expensive. Okay, this case, the curb store on the second floor, on the convenience stores, because just, I think, 120 square meter is enough to start. Okay? And if you rent this space in the second floor or third floor, rental fee will be decreased. So you can get easily to get a return. So this is a Japan-specific aspect. Okay, how old I am? Can you imagine how old I am? 90? Who's else? Oh, 100. Okay. 100. You are right. Maybe Patrick Chan will give you some gift later. Okay. This woman looks nice, but important thing we have to consider is even for 100-year-older women come every day paying by pocket money. This is important. Okay? Because in Japan, sports gym still looked as a sports savvy, place for sports savvy. Okay? And the ratio of the penetration ratio is, I think, only 3% of the total population. And many people believe market looks saturated. But the reality is different. Okay? A lot of middle-aged or older women who don't like the traditional gym they had dissatisfaction, something. Okay? And we try to remove that dissatisfaction, okay, continuously. Then we could create the new market for older women-friendly sport gym. Because I say new market because the 95% of the customers, they never came to the traditional gym. That means new market, different people. Yeah. So what is the key factor for success? Okay, I'd like to say the basics of the business of aging is that to solve some uneasiness, dissatisfaction, or inconvenience. If you see some market look saturated, but many people have some complaints, some dissatisfaction. So important thing is to become a finder of FUDI. Okay, so in other words, business chances exist in your brain, not outside. If you change your mind, if you change your consciousness, you will find, oh, that is a chance. This is very important. Okay, now I go to the second part, cognitive stimulation. Okay, this is the probability of dementia by age. As you can see, okay, after 75, the rate increased drastically. And this ratio profile is universal all over the world. Okay, what are the cause of dementia in Japan? The 50% is called Alzheimer's disease, and 30% called cerebrovascular. Okay, as I told you, cerebrovascular can be protected if you make effort, physical exercise. But Alzheimer's disease is not easy. Okay, this is a symptom of dementia. And if you have any older parents or relatives, I know you are suffering from this kind of treatment. I'll tell you from a little bit theoretically. Okay, our institute in Tohoku University is focused on the brain science, brain study a lot. And this is a hypothesis from the brain science. The prefrontal cortex, this part, plays extremely important roles in keeping our daily life healthy and happy. Because when I talk, when I communicate with you, we use this part. Okay? When I try to control something, we use this part. This prefrontal cortex is called executive function of the brain. And when we see the brain directly by using NIRS, called NIRS, the special device, okay, when the color is blue, the brain doesn't work. But the color becoming red, that means brain is activated. In other words, the people with dementia, their brain prefrontal cortex doesn't work. So, and in our lab, we try to select what kind of task is most effective to activate our prefrontal cortex by using functional MRI. Okay, this is the result. Okay, the bottom, left-hand bottom is a picture of the brain by functional MRI. While you are solving difficult calculation, but brain doesn't activate. Okay? But if you're solving simple calculation problems quickly, a lot of parts of brain can be activated. While you are watching TV, okay, looks activate, but different parts, 2 parts, okay? One is called sound part, and another part is called the visual part, visual and sound, because you are watching TV. But no activation on the prefrontal cortex, okay? So please be careful if you are couch potato, okay? If you go to the nursing home, a lot of residents continue to watch TV, okay? So that is the acceleration of the dementia. But while you are writing something, also a lot of brain parts are activated. And while you are reading aloud, also are very activated. So as a result, reading aloud, handwriting, simple arithmetic is activate bilateral prefrontal cortex. This task is very simple and easy. And these are the material design basis for brain training, learning therapy. And we collaborated this, our university collaborated with the Kumon Institute of Education. And this is English education provider for the children. I think there's some, a lot in Hong Kong too. And also the Adrian Nursing Home located in Fukuoka Island. Okay, and this is a typical scene of the practice. The one supporter with two learners. The learners are residents of the nursing home. These women, 180 years old women, senile dementia Alzheimer type. Okay, we use this kind of paper material. We never use any high-tech, very low-tech. Okay, and in her case, 3 years, more than 3 years, she was bedridden. But after 3 months, she conducted learning therapy. She could stand up by wheelchair and to write something. Okay, this is a change of the daily activity. Okay, very specific, but two different things. One is the yellow part. Yellow part means the emergency call button pushing in midnight. We need Timothy MaD service in Japan, for example. Yeah. But this is in a nursing home. Almost every day they push. But after 1 year, only 2 times a month. And second difference is you can see the blue part. Blue part means desire to get off bed. Oh, I want to do something. Because she recovers her cognitive function. Okay? After the recovering cognitive function, the desire to do something new will happen. This is the human's nature. Okay? And this is more scientific result. I don't speak a lot today. But in terms of the MMSE, mini mental statements, examination, and FAB, the blue line shows intervention means the conducting learning therapy. And red line, control group, is doing nothing. If you do nothing after entering nursing home with dementia, usually straightly decline. But if you do something, good intervention program, you can keep or sometimes improved. Okay, so benefit of the learning therapy. One, we don't use any drug or computers. No, it's very low tech. And also very less expensive. And this diagram shows the green line is control group without nothing. The blue line shows giving donepezil. In other words, Aricept is a drug. Okay? But if you provide Aricept, only 11 months you can extend the period. After that, the same as a control group. Learning therapy is better than donepezil and less expensive. Okay, and another important thing. This is the change of required care level. And because we have a long-term care insurance system in Japan, and municipality certifies the level of the care needed by each person. The level from 1 to 5. Level 5 is severest, and 1 is the lightest. And level 5 gets a lot of insurance money from the government, but takes a lot of energy, staff. But we need to decrease the cost. Okay? So this change, the learning therapy can change their level of care. And if we convert to the money, annually, $1,054 US per person. Then, but we need a cost for the learning therapy. But if you convert and calculate this, okay, $865 US annually cost saving per person we can get from learning therapy. This looks small, but again, in Japan, even 2010, we have more than 2 million dementia people already. if you apply learning therapy to those old people, we can save US dollar 2.2 billion US dollar, idealistically. Okay, I don't want to exaggerate, but I want to say to you, okay, if we do the right way of the preventive aspect, we can reduce the cost and to make people happier. Okay, this is what we have done in Japan in the past 10 years. 12,000 demented people nationwide already conducted learning therapy, and 33,900 non-demented people. Those are for the preventive purpose at the local senior centers. And also we started the trial in the United States from 2011 May in Cleveland, Ohio. And this was also very successful. So I'm sorry, I'm a lack of time, I don't spend much time. But this was very successful, and we confirmed the result is almost same as Japan. This is the result. I think the result looks better than Japan we had done in 10 years ago, because we input the best know-how accumulated in the past 10 years to this project. So I hope in the near future, somebody in Hong Kong will try to this trial. And I really like to work with you. Okay, and I will, maybe the lack of time, the socialization. Enjoy working with income in later life. This is the best. Okay, this is called Leaf Business in Japan, very famous. And this company is a private company, but it established in a very small town. Total population is only 2,229 persons. Very small village. Okay? They pick up, collect, and process the leaves. If you go to the upscale Japanese restaurant, you can see a lot of leaves with the sashimi and the sushi and so on. They sell that leaves. But average age of the employee is 78. Okay, this is a very important message. Only 2% who needed nursing care in this village because they enjoy working. Okay? So enjoy working with some income is the key to keep older people independent and healthy. Okay, and I want to share the lesson learned. Making the best of older workers. 1, create a job that free use of the brain and the body. Don't make it too simple, and don't make it too complicated. It's intermediate, brain and body. Second, introduce market competitiveness principle. Don't make by like welfare. Okay? The competitiveness. The older women, she said, oh, I'm still from the 14th position. She wants to go up. This kind of competitive sense is very important to work continue. Third, make flexible work system. Some people want to work 6 days a week, some only 2 days, some only 1 day. You should tolerate it. 4, make high-tech device usable for older adults. Now this company, they use iPad to check their sales. Okay, number 5, so create product differentiation, make a difference. And 6, target niche market. This is important. Okay, if you go niche market, there's no big competitor. Go niche first, make it bigger. Then, last, entrepreneurial producers with high sense of business planning and marketing is necessary. I hope most of them here can become like the entrepreneurial in the very near future. Okay, I will skip this. And this is my university, Smart Aging Research Center. And we introduced the curves and Vital Brain School on the campus. This is the first project in a national university in Japan. Okay? And we do the neurosocial economic study. What is this? we know that if you do the productive activities by interventing by some neuro intervention like cognitive stimulation or physical exercise, we understood many people reduce the cost of care and increase the demand of consumption. And this is an interim report, and we already trace the data, actual data, and the older people, when they involved in cognitive intervention and physical exercise, they like to spend more money to do something new. I think this is a natural mind of the humankind. Okay? And also this is called smart aging college. The difference is this college is the 50% of students are age over 60. And others are 50s, 40s, 30s, and students. A totally intergenerational school. And we believe that this smart aging center can be a catalyst for smart aging community, not only in Sendai, not only in Japan, but also in Hong Kong and all over the world. I'll be happy to help you. By 2030, most countries will become aging countries. But what's happening in Japan will be the near future of what's happening in your country. So, but we are a little bit advanced because we are aging. Yeah? But the solutions are needed in every country. So, and Japan has advantage since we are good at dealing with in very sophisticated manner, but our experience can be shared with all countries will be facing on super aging society. So we are ready to cooperate with you, any of with you here, and I'll be happy to work with you from now. Okay, lastly, I want to say my favorite words. What is the best way to predict the future? What is the best way to predict the future? My favorite word is like this. The best way to predict the future is to invent it. Yeah? No politician, no bureaucrats, no municipality cannot do that. So each person, including me, can invent our future. So I hope my talk will be beneficial to you, and I hope to start to work with you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Murata-san. Thank you. We will take a few questions from the floor, please. 有冇人有問題或者有意見同阿 Murata-san 講講？嗰度有一位，嗰度有一位。麻煩工作人員，仲有冇？我哋可能集齊一次嗰啲題目，嗰度兩位，呢度三位。Maybe we should gather a few questions together and then we answer it in one go because of the time. 請。
Thank you very much for sharing with us. It's very inspiring. But what I'd like to know is how do you empower or inspire young people to help and serve the elder generation?
Okay.
Okay,
Yes.
Thank you for the sharing. I'm inspired by the learning therapy. Currently, I'm working in the rehab center. Service users are divided into 3 parts, and one category are the visual impaired elderly. I'm curious how the learning therapy can work on the visual impaired elderly, especially they can't see or also, for quite a number of the elderly are reluctant to learning new things. And how can you raise their interest in having learning therapy?
Okay, one more question, and then we'll have Murata-san to answer.
Thank you very much for your lecture. And I am a PhD student in Hong Kong U, but I was a social worker working in the community in Cleveland, Ohio, with seniors. And I have a question about your. You said you did the trial in Cleveland, and I was wondering, did you encounter any cultural barriers? Because when I was working there, it was so hard to get the seniors out of the homes because they love to stay in the house. And we had the socialization activities, but it's very difficult to take the barrier to recruit the participants. So what was the settings that you conduct the trials, and how did you
Thank you.
meet the challenge? Thank you so much.
Okay. For younger caregivers, I think most important thing is to make them have opportunity to experience by themselves, to have a sense of achievement. Okay? And when we can have a sense of achievement, it's during the process of the conducting learning therapy. And for example, initially it's not easy to communicate with demented older people. But once she understood some points, critical point to communicate smoothly, and if the older resident say to younger staff to say, oh, thank you very much, because of you, I became very happy. This kind of the word of appreciation can motivate the younger staff very much. If the resident cannot see completely, it's impossible. But for example, the late severe case, okay, she could not speak, she could not stand up, but she could hear. Okay, in that case, we will start from 1-to-1 by the bedside. Then we will step up to the 1-to-2 communication. Okay, but if you are a patient or if your resident cannot see the paper, maybe we can see some reading aspects, but it's not so easy to do that.
Yes.
Yeah.
And cultural barrier.
Yes, cultural barrier. Yeah, that is a question many people asked us for the initial stage. But as a result, even we had a cultural barrier, but after we modified, customized the materials, I think it works. Yeah. For example, we use 3 kinds of materials. One, reading material. Second is writing material. Third is arithmetics. Okay? Arithmetics is no language. It's universal all over the world. Okay? Reading and writing, you need to customize as a local culture. Local country, district, and language modification we need. And we worked with a lot of staff in Cleveland and the United States, Kumon, USA. So that's why we could do it very perfectly. And of course, we modified and modify continuous. Yeah, we did.
Let us thank you again for Professor Hiro Murata.
Thank you.
おはようございます。